Number 13, we're asked to find the polar form of negative radical 3 minus I. And so your goal, and I even put this in the directions, is to get your equation to look like that. So really, in order to get our equation to look like that, we need an r and a theta. So if you look at this equation, remember you're going to treat that first coordinate, the one that doesn't have the I with it, as x. You're going to treat the coefficient of y, or of I, as y. So really, we're kind of working with the point. You can think of it as we're working with the point of negative 3, negative 1, which if you do that, if you look back on your review to number 3, it's really kind of the same thing. Number 3 is you're trying to find the polar coordinate of each rectangular coordinate. And if we kind of think of this the same way, we're essentially doing the same thing. So we're trying to find r, which is the square root of x squared plus y squared. So we get r is equal to the square root of 3 plus 1. Oh, would you look at that? It gives you another radius of 2. Shocking. And then you're trying to find theta. So if you look at, so tangent of theta is equal to, again, tangent is y over x. So negative 1 over negative radical 3. So tangent of theta is going to end up being positive because of the two negatives. And this is going to simplify to radical 3 over 3. Now, make sure you actually find what theta is. A lot of people have been leaving their answer like this. Square root of 3 over 3 is not an angle, so it's not a theta value. Theta has to be an angle, and that's where if you look back at this, decide what quadrant it's in. Two negative values are going to put us in the third quadrant. At what angle in the third quadrant is tangent radical 3 over 3? Well, it's going to happen in all of your pi's over 6's, and the pi over 6 that's in the third quadrant is 7 pi over 6. Now, this time I'm actually going to read my directions, and it says write theta in degree form. So the degree equivalent of 7 pi over 6 is 210. So, your final answer, and again, you're going to write it in this format, so the radius goes out front, cosine of your angle, 210, plus I sine of your angle, 210 again. Now it says leave it in complex polar form, so we don't need to simplify this. And here's the thing. If you were to actually go back and find cosine of 210 and replace it, and sine of 210 and replace it, so you'd have, let's see here, negative square root of 3 over 2 and negative 1/2 for the sine. If you distribute in that 2, you're going to get right back to where you were at the beginning, which is a good way to check it, but just make sure you follow the directions and leave it in the form that's asked so you don't do more work than you need to.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.